Hi, cat. Come and get some mango, baby.
One, two, 1, 2, 3. Self-awareness is a superpower. My name is KathyLaDonna. Welcome to Soul and Vibration. I hope the free thinkers are doing well. And if you are not doing well, I'm happy to remind you that you are the most powerful person that you know. You are the most powerful person that you know because only you can create your reality. So earlier I was laying on the yoga mat after doing my morning yoga routine. I always do meditation because I find that after meditating immediately after, I noticed that meditating immediately after the yoga is really good because like the yoga will stretch me out and make my body a little bit tired. So when I lay down into the meditation, it just grounds me so much more. So while I was on the mat, like a thought came to me because like I had the air on and I didn't have much clothes on. So I felt good laying on the mat because the sun was coming in and I had my eyes closed and I'm breathing deeply and I'm just witnessing the redness from the sun with my eyes closed and just witnessing the warmth that's coming in through the window. And I just felt so good, and I'm there enjoying my meditation. And then the sun went away because a bunch of clouds covered it up completely. And all of a sudden, this sadness came over me and it brought me back to a certain time when I was living in LA and my adrenals were fatigued and I was really, really sick. I've never been that sick in my life, sick to the point where I was really concerned. Like I thought I was gonna die. I know I'm a bit extreme, but that's how I felt. Like basically I would get up out of bed and my nerves would be tingling throughout my entire body. My vision was blurry. And just the thought of like leaving the apartment made me feel anxiety throughout my whole body. And every day I would wake up and I would feel like that. And whenever I woke up and I would feel like that, I would panic because the thought that I wasn't my normal self caused me to panic. I wanted to escape the present moment. And laying on the yoga mat and the sun going away brought me to that feeling because when the sun went away, I realized how cold it was in the space where doing the yoga, warmed me up. But when the sun went away, like I realized how cold it was and my eyes were still closed. So it's like cold, dark, and gloomy. And I felt myself like fighting the moment, like thinking, when is the sun coming? When is the sun coming? When is the sun coming? Just like when I was sick and I would wake up out of bed and walk to the bathroom and realize that I don't feel like myself, what's familiar, I would start freaking out and then I would feel like a prisoner because here I am stuck in a place that I don't want to be. Here I am on the yoga mat, in my meditation, don't know how much time I have left. It's cold and I'm stuck in a place that I don't want to be, wanting the time to hurry up. And in that moment, I remember what I did when I was sick. I started getting better instantly when I stopped fighting for what I had and started accepting that moment, but doing the best I can to get where I'm trying to go. So say you're in a situation and your situation is not favorable. It's not the kind of situation that you want to be in. And you deserve so much better. But getting up every day and being angry and making an enemy out of the moment will not make things any better. But if you get up every day and you accept that this is my life right now, but at the same time, you're doing everything in your power to get to where you're trying to go or achieve whatever it is that you're trying to achieve, in a matter of time, like in no time, you will achieve whatever it is that you're trying to achieve. Because what we don't realize is that everything is energy. Like before we even take action, it's important for us to visualize whatever it is that we're trying to achieve in our mind. It's important for us to see and experience the outcome in our mind before we even take action. But whenever we're fighting the moment, like when I was sick and me waking up out of bed and then getting out of bed and standing up to go to the bathroom and feeling all my nerves shaking through my body and the anxiety and the blurry vision, it's like I would panic. And that panic attack that I would have in that moment will make my nerves even worse, because the adrenals has to do with, plays a part in the fight or flight. So I would put myself even more in a fight or flight mode, fighting the moment. And then the fear that I would feel in the moment will cause me to project and manifest fear the next day, because this moment is creating the next moment. You know what I mean? So if you want to know what your future looks like, pay attention to what your current situation looks like. What are you experiencing right now? How is it? Like, do you feel abundant right now? Because if you feel abundant right now, like money isn't an issue and you have more than enough, the next moment will be that way. But if in this moment you're fearful, you're angry, you're pissed off, you're painting the picture for the next. So when I stopped fighting that moment and stopped fighting the fact that that I'm sick and I'm not how I'm used to being, and I started allowing myself to just be in peace and forget about what I'm used to and just sit in that moment, is like, one, I started calming down, and then everything went up from there. Like basically I started getting better. I started sleeping at night, because with my adrenal being fatigued, I wasn't sleeping at night. I would be up until like 3, 4 in the morning, and then I would close my eyes and they would pop back open at 6 in the morning. And somebody probably needs to hear that, because probably don't know what's wrong with you. Probably don't know what's wrong with you, but you're super anxious and you're not sleeping, probably not experiencing bowels as you should. Your menstrual's probably off. Things are probably off. You know what I mean? But once I stopped fighting the moment, I started, slowly but surely, eventually started sleeping, and then things started falling back into place. And I got even better than I was before, because I learned what habits caused me to end up in the situation that I was in. So it's like, whatever it is that you're going through, don't fight the moment. Just be at peace with the moment and do whatever you can in this moment to get to where you're going. And eventually when you get to where you're going, it'll never happen again where you end up where you were, because you learned from your past mistakes, because you wasn't escaping the moment. You sat there and you did what you needed to do, and you made peace with the moment and keep moving forward. So I laid on the yoga mat. The sun didn't come back out, but I laid there, and after a while I started focusing on my breathing. I started making the most of the overcastness that I was feeling. It reminded me of when I lived in Massachusetts. And, of course, when you're meditating, the whole point is to not think, bring your attention to witnessing, but the mind does drift off. And when the mind did drift off, I would just drift off to what I loved about New England and the whole gloomy aspect of it, because that's how it felt on the mat. It felt cold and gloomy. And I love sunshine, green grass, and all those things. Where I know some people who like it when it rains and like the gloominess, and I like it sometimes, and I like it sunny most of the time. So whenever the sun goes down for me, it always feels like punishment. So in that moment when the sun went away, I felt like I was in prison, because my meditation I just started, and I'm gonna have to lay here and focus on not focusing and be still. And what was making it so great was me witnessing the heat and the redness and the beauty of the sun. But whatever it is that you're going through, don't make an enemy out of the moment. Making an enemy out of the moment is only going to make the situation worse. It's going to stop you from learning the lessons that you possibly can learn from your situation. It's going to stop you from manifesting the kind of future that you want, because if you're fighting the moment, then in your mind, you're experiencing thoughts that aren't working, that aren't for your greatest good. You know what I'm saying? Because you can tell what kind of thoughts you think based on how you feel most of the time. If you feel good and cheerful, you're thinking cheerful and good thoughts. If you feel sad and depressed, then your mind is probably dwelling in a place that is causing you to have those vibrations. So yeah, whatever it is that you're going through, nothing lasts. Things are constantly changing. And just know that, be one in the moment, but do as much as you can to make it better in each moment, and things will eventually get better. If you're still here with me, I would love to hear about it. Please let me know by dropping me a pink heart in the comment box below. I would love to hear from you. Love yourself as if your life depended on it, because it does. Take care of yourself, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.